The change signature refactor is one of the most impressive and powerful refactors within IntelliJ. So the signature is just the visibility, the name, the parameters, right now it's empty, and the return type. You can also see in this other class I'm calling this function, so you can see this update as I actually change the signature. So I'm going to invoke it with Control F6, which will bring up the dialog, and you can do simple things like change the name, so now it should be another function. You can see it changed over here as well. Control F6 again. You can change the return type, so we'll make the return type number, and you can actually see here that it's saying there is an error, please add a return statement. So now it's going to return the number 0. You don't see any change here, except if you try to introduce a variable. Now you can, because it's returning a number. And we can also try to change the visibility, but since we're calling it from another class, you'll see if I try and make it private, that it'll give me a warning saying, sorry, this won't be accessible. So we'll cancel out of that, and that would be the same with internal protected. So that will work, just since we're using it outside of the class, that it's going to warn us that we shouldn't. And lastly, one of the coolest things is that you can add whatever parameters you want. So let's add another number. We'll call this 1, give it a default value of 1. Let's add another number. We'll name it 2 and give it a default value of 2. And once I hit refactor, you'll see that we now have the parameters of 1 and 2, and it passed in the values 1 and 2. Now we can also, let's undo that, propagate those parameter changes. So let's do that again. So we'll make a number that's named 1 and give it a default value of 1. And if I come up here and select Propagate Parameters, it's going to find the other methods that call it. So in the weather app context do stuff, we'll check that. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see what happens. So it's actually going to add the parameter to do stuff. So click OK, refactor, and you'll see that 1 is now a parameter of do stuff, which will then pass that along to another function, and we'll get it invoked or used there. So that's the change signature refactor. Very powerful.